Welcome to day 2 of 4 Fields of Stewardship. Yesterday, we were reminded of a foundational truth. God is the owner, and He has entrusted your life to you. Like Adam, you and I have fields that He has given us to tend and take care of. Our field isn't the Garden of Eden. That's been off limits since the fall. But our fields are the fields of self, relationships, purpose, and finances. Today's focus is the field of self. In the parable of the sower, in Matthew 25, verses 14 to 30, the master in this parable gives 3 different servants 3 different amounts of money. One was given 5 talents, which is equal to about $10 million in today's money, probably a little more in 2022, but one was given 2 talents, which is almost $4 million, and one was given 1 talent, which is about $2 million. I would be good with 1 million, but whatever. So the master entrusted his wealth in accordance with each person's ability. And his expectation was for them to grow the money in accordance with what? Their ability. When the master returned, he saw that the servants that were given 5 talents and 2 talents doubled what they were given. He told them, "Well done, good and faithful servants. You've been faithful with little. I will make you ruler over much." Unfortunately, the one with the 1 talent didn't do anything with what he was given. He did not steward what he was entrusted with. God in his infinite wisdom gave you a field called self. And in that field, He gave you your spiritual life with Him, your physical body, your intellect, your talents, your gifts, your personality, and your emotions. And these are the things that you've been entrusted with by God, and it's your job to steward them, to nourish them, to care for them. So how are you tending and caring for the field of self? Is your relationship with Jesus the center of your life? Are you taking care of your body that God has entrusted you with? What are you learning, reading, or listening to? How are you growing and using the talents and the gifts that God has given to you? Do you manage your emotions, or do your emotions manage you? In 1 Peter 4:10, it says, "As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace." And in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 15, Paul strongly encourages Timothy to practice the gifts God has given him and to what? Immerse himself in them. I love that urging from Paul. Now, I haven't reached my capacity, and you haven't reached yours yet. There is more that God has entrusted to you, more things for you and I to discover and develop. So let's not allow ourselves to fall into the trap of complacency or comparison. So what are some ways that you can better tend the field of self? Well, first, strengthen your connection with Jesus. The only way to truly steward what God has entrusted you with is by partnering with Him, because He's the owner after all. Second, take inventory of what's in your field. Your physical body, your intellect, your gifts and talents, your aptitudes, and don't shortchange yourself. Third, ask God what steps you should take to take care of your physical body, your intellect. That means what He would like for you to learn or skills to grow in, and in what ways He wants you to develop and use the gifts and the talents that He gave you. And the 4th step is act. The goal is not to be better than anyone. The goal is to be the best steward of what God has entrusted you with, to the glory of His name. See you tomorrow.